Hey, how's it going, everyone, and welcome back. All right, so today's going to be another episode of me talking about another week, part of the Ren-Nu program here. If you want to see my other episodes covering other weeks of the Ren-Nu program, I do have a playlist, and that link is down below in the description. I'll also go ahead and add it as the top pinned comment. But the Ren-Nu program, for anyone that is unaware, is a phenomenal self-paced online course, pretty much like a online college course, which is revolving around the treatment and management of polycystic kidney disease. I have polycystic kidney disease. I have gone through a very similar course well over a year ago, and I've been treating, and I've also seen massive regression and reversal in my overall kidney size, which means that being in a low carb ketogenic or a no carb carnivore diet has really shown to improve my health and has shrunken the cysts on my kidneys. Obviously, I still have polycystic kidney disease. This is not a quote unquote magical cure. It is a phenomenal management, and it could very well potentially reverse your level of progression where you are. So, if you're really on the fence about starting treatment for PKD, getting rid of the sugary good foods, the fun foods that are very much drug orientated foods, in my opinion, because I really consider sugar to be a substance. But you get rid of those, you get rid of foods that really spike your blood sugar and cause the cyst to really grow, you're going to be in a much better position than eating a lot of that garbage. But this course, I've been making a couple videos on, and Melina Messing, I just want to say thank you again to her. She's actually letting me showcase this course for you all. Pretty much go through each week, talk about what each week is about. Every single week that you go through this course, and if you do have interests in the Ren-Nu program, that link is also down below in the description as well too. But every single week that you go through this course, you learn a new lesson that can be applied to your life forever. The stuff that you learn in this course are life lessons, not short-term lessons. They can literally range from how do you understand proper nutrition. I'm 37 years old right now, and I thought that I knew everything about nutrition in my 20s because I went to the gym and I was really much a gymaholic. I didn't really know anything about nutrition. I honestly really even did not even know the three macros of food, which is protein, carbs, and fat. We've probably all heard of protein, carbs, and fat, right? But how many people actually know that it's called macros? Believe it or not, not a lot of people. So this course is very educational that can go ahead and give you lifelong lessons for the rest of your life. It's not like a quick online college course. Hey, okay, this is cool in the moment. No, these lessons are applied to your entire life. And if you have family members with this condition, you can very much apply it with them as well too. So I just went through week number 3, and a big takeaway of week 3, which is very important, is learning about building new habits. And I really want to talk about this because my story is very unique because I have no family history at all about this disease. It was a shell shocker finding out. And I have a military background. I used to be an extreme athlete. I got injured in my early 30s. I was 33 years old, and I completely stopped exercising. I changed my diet from a whole food, very high protein diet to a very processed food, high in sodium, high in sugar, high in carbs, high in energy drink. I really don't give a F mentality of dietary living. I did not become obese, believe it or not. I actually lost over 20 pounds of muscle mass, which is very bad in general. During those 2.5 years of living on a high sugar, high processed food diet, my kidneys grew massively, massively grew. Very quickly also. In a span of 10 months, they grew by 15, and the one of my kidneys grew by 18, 20%. very, very quick. I was looking at kidney failure in my mid 40s. I was 35 at the time of a really bad MRI. My images now show the complete opposite. It's unbelievable what making a lifestyle change can really do for you. But I developed very bad habits for 2.5 years, which I don't care mentality. Here are some of the bad habits that I developed. One is all throughout my 20s and early 30s, I did have sugary drinks. I did have sugary foods. I was never, I'm not a saint. Of course, I had some ice cream. Of course, I had cookies. Of course, I had candy. How often? Not very often, in moderation. Very, very moderation. But I ate a lot of protein, which curbs blood sugar spikes, and I exercised a lot. It was a habit. Nearly every single day I'd be going to the gym. It was a habit. Whenever I would go food shopping, I would always go to the produce and to the butcher part of my grocery store. However, for those 2.5 years, I went straight to the bakery. Every 2 weeks of shopping, I would go straight to the bakery. Okay? I created very bad habits. And when I first started to do a ketogenic lifestyle in May of 2024, I had to break a lot of really bad habits. It was terrible. The quick definition of a habit, if you do something for more than 3 days consecutively, it creates a habit. It takes our brain 72 hours to really start to detox a habit. So let's say on Monday you wake up and you have a sugary coffee, which is all artificial flavors, artificial sweeteners, and it really is not a real pumpkin coffee at all, right? And you have that first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, you spike your blood sugar, you do that over time, your cysts are going to grow on your kidneys, and you're going to cause metabolic damage. If you don't have polycystic kidney disease, you do that over time, you're going to have high insulin levels, high blood sugar levels, you're going to become very obese, okay? Because high insulin levels and high blood sugar levels, it creates obesity. So if you wake up on Monday, have a sugary coffee first thing in the morning, and then you do it on Tuesday along with Wednesday, what are the chances that you're going to be doing it on Thursday? Believe it or not, that chance is well over 90% because you're about to create a habit. And then what are the chances of you doing it on Friday, day number 5? It goes up even higher. That's how bad and how easy it is to really create a bad habit. It's very easy, and I'm no saint. I've created very bad habits. I have a lot of alcoholic tendencies. I'm a binge drinker. I have parted ways with alcohol because I just really don't want to roll the dice and take the chance. And to be honest, I really feel that my progression was also fueled by drinking a lot too. I was not waking up chugging beers first thing in the morning, but I was drinking 2 to maybe 4 times per week on a blackout drunk basis. So unhealthy habits really do matter with this disease. A lot of people, if you talk to a doctor or dietitian that is uneducated, they're going to tell you the opposite. And that's just not the case of what we're seeing. But this week lesson is something that is really, really important. It's about breaking bad habits and creating new ones, okay? How did I break a bad habit of having artificial pumpkin spice latte coffee every single morning? Well, I created a good habit. I made my homemade pumpkin coffee. Very low in carbs, practically no sugar, a couple tablespoons of pumpkin puree, organic pumpkin puree. That's like 1 or 2 grams of carbs, and a quarter cup of heavy cream. That's about 4 grams of carbs, like 7-8 grams of carbs with a little bit of pumpkin spice. Instead of going to a franchise establishment without naming names, you get a pumpkin spice latte. Minimum is about 40 grams of sugar, which is going to spike your blood sugar, and anywhere between 20 to 40 grams of carbs, which essentially are just sugars too. replacing food is creating awesome and amazing life-changing habits. So if you have a sweet tooth for, let's say, for pumpkin spice coffee like I do, create your own pumpkin spice coffee. And in this lesson of week number 3, breaking habits can easily be done by food substitution. I eat homemade ice cream a couple times per month. Homemade ice cream is literally half a cup of berries, whether it's blueberries or strawberries. You can do 1 cup of heavy cream or maybe cottage cheese or maybe cream cheese. Put it into a blender, pop it in your freezer, boom, bang, homemade ice cream. No sugar. If you have a sweet tooth and if you are really hurting with a bad habit of, let's say, ice cream, creating a good habit of food substitution can really save your life. And in a dietary management program, swapping out foods to create better habits, that is one phenomenal way to really break a lot of habits. Another thing also in this lesson, which is amazing, is talking about simple daily routines. This has also really propelled my health and also propelled every aspect of my life. I've also saved a lot of money in the last almost 2 years by doing this lifestyle because I've cut out all the garbage snacks and all the garbage unhealthy food. A lot of unhealthy food, believe it or not, it does add up in value. So simple daily routines for me, I do a lot of praying, incorporating that, going to the gym, getting back into that mentality of a daily routine. Another daily routine that I work on too is my food log journal. To this day, I still track my food log, and I don't do it because I have like OCD in a way. We all have some level of OCD, but I do it because it keeps me motivated and I've learned to use it as a routine. And it really helps me see, hey, I want to make sure that I'm getting enough minerals such as sodium, potassium, calcium every day, along with salt is very important too. Especially if you may experience some cramping or some mild headache or fatigue. A lot of times it could be sodium, salt, and making meals that work for you. Like I said, swapping out the unhealthy products for homemade products, it can very much save your life. So on this closing note here to really wrap things up, week number 3, the fundamentals about breaking bad habits and replacing them with good habits. I still consume pumpkin spice coffee. I just make my own. And I've really broken a lot of bad habits with a lot of really good habits. There is some pain involved. I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to BS you. There is some pain involved because your brain has to detox a lot of the sugar, and sugar is a substance. I really do believe it is. It's very highly addictive, but making homemade products, you're not getting that same addictive bad feeling, and it's all about breaking through just very much bad habits that these processed food companies pretty much create for us. So, super closing note once again. I really hope everyone is doing well with their health goals. Stay motivated, and if you run into a problem, don't quit. Never give up. Sometimes you just may have to pivot to the left or to the right, but never ever go backwards. Keep going forward. All right, everyone, take it easy. And I'll see you all in the next one.